it's tough to pin a guy down when he's on his bike and Jake was moving so much. I'm trying to be cool. It was weird, right?
That's toughness. You know, most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane.
It's over. It's over.
Done. It's over. He's done. Hey, my boxing knowledge.
Some people believe in fairy tales. Whoever believed that Jake Paul was going to win, that was an absolute fairy tale. I've got a friend in a group message that said, I just put $20 on Jake Paul to win. I was like, bro, you just wasted your money. There was never a world in which Jake Paul was going to beat Anthony Joshua. It was always a matter of how the fight would end.
Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. I got $50,000 on Anthony Joshua winning. I'm only gonna win $5,500 for the bet because he's such a favorite.
It's frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe because Jake was moving so much, holding, but did well, I thought. I mean, I was impressed with him. I mean, I was more impressed with his toughness because I think that last shot would have knocked out most heavyweights. I mean, I know
he broke his jaw.
Yeah, I know it knocked him out, but he was not unconscious.
This is what I decided to do. While some of my friends decided to do a little bit of hustling, some of my friends decided to go down the college route. I decided to go down the school of boxing.
Boxing, there's a time when you systematically break someone down and you see their soul leaving their body. And after a period of time, 2 things start to happen to them. Either they give up or they get knocked out.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Jake Paul, like I said, man, y'all ain't giving him enough credit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he deserves all the
I
credit.
already know the comments, they're not going to give him enough credit.
Who is it?
I already see the comments, they're not going to give him enough credit.
I thought Joshua did what he had to do.
Right.
It took him a while to get it, but he had to break him down and chase him down and unleash his powerful shot.
What was it? Was it a little too long to get done, or?
Yeah, listen, when you fight someone like that, that moves around a lot, then you have to try and pick your moments, pick your shots.
Yeah.
That's what he did, so congratulations to Joshua.
Fight.
Yeah.
Good fight. Listen, respect to Jake. You know, he was a tough guy in there. Obviously, moved a lot and made it difficult for AJ. And AJ's been out of the ring for a while. He's a bit rusty. It took him time to just get hold of him, but I was impressed with Jake. And listen, as I said to Nikisa, at the end of the day, he took shots that a lot of people would have got knocked out, clean out by, especially at the end, you know? So, yeah.
Oh, he's a fucking legend for that. He has such big balls getting in the ring with that guy, dude. Joshua's a monster. He stayed in it the whole time, and I'm really proud of Jake, dude. All my respect to him, bro. Whatever outcome. I mean, dude, he went 6.5 rounds with Anthony Joshua, one of the best in the world, so I got nothing.
When someone's moving like that, it's going to take you a while to get hold of them, and when they're rugby tackling you, but he had to do what he had to do to survive, and he did that. So, you know, it's very difficult to go in like, you know, out the ring for 14 months and just be razor sharp with a guy running. And so, yeah, probably 2 or 3 rounds more than expected. But fair play to Jake Paul. He was a lot tougher than I thought, and he took a lot more shots than I thought he could.
Through so many people, bro. The overhand right. Jake's got a tough chin, dude. I think he does whatever he wants after this. He just has such big balls, dude. He had to keep moving. That was the only strategy. People are gonna say he ran around the ring. They don't know. They don't understand fucking boxing.
And you got to realize, you know, Jake Paul had his hands down.
Yeah.
He was basically waiting for that knockout. You know, the fact that he did that, it was good because, you know, we didn't think it was going to go 6 rounds. We thought it was going to go 2. So the fact that he made 6 rounds is an accomplishment for Jake Paul.
I mean, I expected Jake to fight the way he fought.
Right.
You know, trying to stay away. You don't know if he's how long that's gonna last. You know, Joshua has something to say about that. So you don't know, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
Right.
Tough, man, and that's what I try to tell people when they try to completely discredit him. You know, Jake Paul is not the face of boxing, and yes, that's disrespectful to the guys that been doing it from the crib. But you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, bro. Like, he's been training, and he knows enough in that ring to be able to, you know, protect himself, and he's a tough kid.
The boxing world shocked up after Brendan Schaub took aim at Anthony Joshua. Even after AJ knocked out Jake Paul, Schaub wasn't buying the hype and didn't hold back. He criticized Joshua's urgency, drive, and overall showing, instantly igniting debate and controversy.
Anthony Joshua didn't throw a single straight right hand for 6 rounds. He didn't cut off the ring. I'm trying to make sense of it. It's tough to pin a guy down when he's on his bike and Jake was moving so much. I'm trying to be cool. It was weird, right? Something's up.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory on all fronts.
Right.
Like, minus the actual victory, obviously, of course, but bro, like, no one expected him to last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that he at least won 3.
Yeah, you got to take your hat off to Jake Paul for surviving as long as he did. He made it tough for AJ. But AJ said that right hand found his home, bro. Right. You talk about a 2-time heavyweight champion, Olympian. You know, it was just a matter of time. But for Jake to last that long and survive, you got to take your hat off to him.
Look on that right hand. Put that meat on that right hand. Instructions, you know when I fought Helene? Oh my God. What the fuck? I've never seen you out in the gym. I know, right?
There was 2 things that could have happened in the fight. Jake would have either come full steam ahead 100 miles an hour, or Jake would have moved around the ring at 100 miles an hour. There's 2 things I would have done. Tried to shut Jake down at 100 miles an hour, or I would have gone on the back foot. So Jake decided to move around the ring, and I decided to put the pressure on. What I could have done better is a lot of things. 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you is that, Jake, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna see a time when I'm gonna take your soul and you're either gonna give up or you're gonna get knocked out.
Wow, I think the Jake doing an amazing job, you know, and the big responsibility is for Joshua, not for Jake, you know, but the people need to respect Jake, you know, and imagine a Jake little big and having more time to training for this fight. You know, I think Jake improved a lot. The people need to respect him. I don't say that only because I'm fight here in a company, but it's because Jake, the people need to respect Jake, you know.
The fight was, Jake looked awful. Anthony Joshua looked awful. Anthony Joshua looked like he couldn't cut off the ring. Like, he just let Jake just merry-go-round the whole first 3-4 rounds. I mean, I give it to you, champ. Ring rust, okay. ring rust, that's fine. You ain't fought in a minute. He's a little annoying kid that's trying to just run. So can't really blame Joshua for that. And at the end of the day, he did land that right hand. He put it right where it was supposed to be, broke that boy jaw, sent him home, got the job done.
On other side, Nakisa Badarian struck a calmer tone. He said Jake Paul entered the fight brimming with confidence and showing zero fear. Jake had his moments and competed well, even if he couldn't deliver the massive upset many were hoping for. Nakisa understood that beating Joshua was always a tall order, but he truly believed Jake had a chance. Above all, he was relieved that Jake came through the tough test safely.
He 100% believed unequivocally that he was going to win, and I talked about that with him, afterwards when he was getting showered up. He knew it was high risk, high reward. He had to land something big, but he felt like he could. My view was it was going to be very hard, but it could happen, right? And there was moments in that fight where I was like, holy, this kid's getting him a little bit. So, when I spoke about no matter what happens, he won, it wasn't because I didn't believe in him, but I want to be realistic about the size, the skill, the experience, the power between the two. He feels disappointed that he lost. But as I said to him, he should be very proud in what he won. And what he won was showing the world that he's a capable boxer who hung in there with a Olympic gold medalist, two-time world champion, who's actually been recovering and being fresh for over 14 months. People are like, oh, he's rusty, he's been out of the ring. It's actually the opposite. He took a break. He let his body recuperate, right? And he was preparing for a fight in November.
Vidal Riley echoed that sentiment and pushed it even further. He noted that almost no one expected Jake Paul to survive beyond 2 rounds, yet Jake made it to the 6th, something Riley viewed as a major win given the circumstances. He praised Jake's approach, explaining that trading shots with AJ would have been a disaster, so Jake stayed mobile, checked his ego, and managed to extend the fight far longer than anyone anticipated.
Big fair play. Big fair play to Jake Paul. Like, Jake Paul done what anyone would do if they stepped in the ring with an experienced fighter that they know they can't compete with. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if me and you was to spar, if you want to not get KO'd immediately, you don't stand in the middle and engage with me. Why would you do that?
I'll take my chances, to be fair.
Fair enough.
No. Yeah.
Hugging.
Make it ugly as you can.
What else are you supposed to do? You're clearly not going to defeat me if you decide to box me. So you have to use something else. That's what Jake done. He done it for as long as he could. He realized AJ's strong. I'm not going to battle with him in the clinch. I'm just going to drop to the ground.
Duke McKenzie, however, wasn't surprised at all. He expected Joshua to stalk Jake, and that's exactly how it played out. McKenzie emphasized that boxing is about engagement, not constant evasion, and Jake's non-stop movement caused Joshua some early frustration. AJ struggled to land clean shots, while Jake refused to stand his ground. But once Joshua found his opening, he ended it swiftly and decisively.
Did this fight go as you expected beforehand or not?
It went exactly how I expected it to go. I thought it would have gone maybe 4 rounds. I thought it might have taken Anthony Joshua 4 rounds. 6 rounds, it doesn't make 4 or 6 rounds. It really makes no difference. The hardest thing for a boxer, AJ, to do in the boxing ring is to try and knock somebody out that won't cooperate. If you're not letting your hands go and you're just running away, that means you're in there to survive. It's hard to knock out anybody that's just in there to survive. Boxing's about 2 boxers engaging and letting their hands go and working out one another's style and getting ahead on that.
David Haye had nothing but praise for both men once the fight was over. He said Joshua's knockout was always the likely outcome, and AJ delivered when it counted. What truly caught Haye, and many others, off guard was Jake Paul's toughness. Going 6 rounds with a heavyweight force like Joshua, Haye said, says a lot about how much Jake has improved. While some have knocked Jake for moving too much, Haye believes he has every reason to leave with his head held high. Lasting that long took real courage. To Haye, this wasn't just another bout. It was a statement. Both fighters showed heart, discipline, and grit, which is exactly why fans couldn't look away.
AJ did what everyone expected him to do, but I don't think many people thought that Jake would have been able to last as long as he did. Great lateral movement. He had a great game plan to get into the later stages of the fight. Credit to him. Hope his jaw ain't too bad, but busted.
What's next for AJ?
Tyson Fury as soon as possible to get the fight, give the fans the fight they really want. So, you know, it was a awkward night. You know, AJ couldn't get to grips with him. Obviously, Jake had a really good game plan, moving his feet, lateral movement, slipping and sliding. Obviously, been practicing that a lot in sparring, and you got to give him credit. He came out there and gave it a good go, took his licks like a man, didn't complain. You know, fighting a much bigger, more established. World-class fighter, so that's usually what happened. What was always going to happen. You know, a lot of people thought he would only last 1 round, 2 rounds, but you know, you got to give Jake credit. You know, he went out there and had a solid game plan and was implementing it at times. Was landing shots and was avoiding getting hit with the big shots.
Logan Paul fully backed his brother, calling it a win for Jake regardless of the official outcome. He said Jake shattered expectations and proved he belongs on boxing's biggest stages. According to Logan, that single performance opens the door to even bigger fights ahead. He didn't downplay Anthony Joshua's power either, admitting it was downright frightening, even from where he was sitting. Logan joked that AJ's punches felt like they shook the entire arena. Still, he said he's never been prouder of Jake's bravery and refusal to back down, praising his mental strength and relentless drive to improve. To Logan, this is only the beginning for Jake Paul.
It's the actual victory, obviously, of course, but bro, like no one expected him to the last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that he at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fucking fighting, man. Like that's toughness. You know, most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane. He's one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. My brother, as a fucking YouTuber, went 6 rounds with him in a fight with a broken jaw and rolled ankle. I'm so proud of him. That was just unbelievable.
Sergey Lapin, the manager of Alexander Usyk, also showed respect to Jake Paul. He said that simply sharing the ring with a fighter as dangerous as Anthony Joshua was enough to earn recognition. Lasting 6 rounds and absorbing those shots, Lapin described as remarkable, noting that many seasoned fighters wouldn't have survived that level of punishment.
Oh, for me, I like this guy good. This guy 5 years training boxing in have big heart, you know. He stand up 3 times and stand up and fight, you know. This not you know, AJ punch very strong.
Antonio Tarver, echoing Duke McKenzie, said the fight unfolded exactly as expected. He described Joshua as composed, controlled, and never shaken at any point. Tarver did give Jake Paul credit for boxing intelligently, sticking to movement, feints, and any tactics he could use to manage the pace and stay out of danger. Jake knew his limits and tried to neutralize the threat, but Tarver was clear that skill and strategy can only go so far. The moment Joshua landed clean, it was over. According to Tarver, you could see it instantly. The fight ended the second that punch connected.
I expected it. AJ looked like he was putting that pressure on, but credit to Jake Paul. He didn't make it easy, bro. He wasn't no sitting duck. You know, he got on his footwork, used his ring, was moving a lot, and he landed some shots. So hats off to Jake Paul, but he was in there surviving, and he didn't make it easy for AJ, but AJ landed that right hand. I knew it was over after that.
Why did it take so long, do you think?
Oh, Jake Paul wasn't a sitting duck. You know, he was putting his mind to the game, but just didn't have enough in his bag. He just, like I said, he got to get those lessons and evolve more as a fighter.
Andre Ward offered one of the toughest post-fight takes of the night. He didn't sugarcoat it, saying the bout clearly exposed the gap between a seasoned professional and a fighter still learning the craft. According to Ward, Jake Paul's issues came down to inexperience, a lack of refinement, and not having that deep, hard-earned ring IQ that only time provides. He also questioned the level of Jake's preparation, suggesting his training isn't where it needs to be for this stage. In Ward's view, talent might open the door, but it won't carry you through fights like this. Without the physical and mental conditioning of a true professional, he said, struggles are inevitable.
You can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, bro. Like, he's been training, and he knows enough in that ring to be able to, you know, protect himself, and he's a tough kid. You gotta respect it, but that next level of knowledge that you need to be able to navigate that, he just didn't have it. He don't have enough time in.
Right.
And that conditioning that he needed, that comes come from the crib. That's not something you're gonna get in an 8-12 week training camp.
Anthony Joshua struck a respectful, reflective tone after the fight. He admitted he wasn't fully satisfied with his performance and acknowledged some rust after 15 months out of the ring. Still, AJ made sure to credit Jake Paul's toughness, praising his heart, resilience, and refusal to back down. Joshua encouraged Jake to keep going, saying more experience will only make him better.
There is a lot of things, 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological.
Eddie Hearn echoed Joshua's praise for Jake Paul, noting that lasting 6 rounds with a heavyweight like AJ is impressive. He highlighted Jake's discipline, smart fighting, and self-belief, saying critics are often unfair. Hearn believes Jake earned respect and proved he belongs in serious boxing discussions. Carl Frosch noted that most expected Anthony Joshua to finish the fight in 2 rounds, but it stretched to 6. He felt Joshua focused more on protecting his paycheck than delivering the power and dominance fans wanted. Watching Jake Paul linger in the ring round after round, Frosch found it frustrating and unacceptable. Frosch didn't spare Jake Paul either, saying he didn't truly try to win. He saw both fighters as just going through the motions, with Jake looking flat and lacking fighting spirit. Froch argued the fight confirmed his view that Paul isn't ready for professional boxing and raised doubts about the legitimacy of these matchups. Froch went further, saying Jake Paul shouldn't keep boxing the way things are. He believes Paul needs to face real opponents and deliver competitive fights, or the sport risks becoming a joke. For Froch, this fight was the last straw, leaving true boxing fans frustrated and disappointed. The boxing world is split after this fight. Some praise Anthony Joshua for showing his power and instincts, while others give Jake Paul credit just for lasting 6 rounds against a former heavyweight champ. Fighters, analysts, and promoters have all weighed in, debating tactics, mentality, and every move in the ring. One thing's clear, the fight highlighted both men's strengths and flaws, and left plenty of questions. Did Joshua look like his old self, or fall short? Does Jake's 6-round showing prove he's legit, or is he still far from contender level? And what's next for AJ? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're enjoying the coverage, like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the hottest boxing stories.